Hi, good afternoon. How are you? Fine? Okay. Dear students, in the last classes, we learned about the concept of business. Yes. Then, in the today's lecture, we learned about the comparison of the business, profession, and employment. Yes. That means the difference in between business, profession, or employment. Clear? Yes. Then see, first of all, that first one is that modes of establishment. Yes. What are the modes required for the establishment of business and profession as well as that employment? That means here, see, the entrepreneur's decision and other legal formalities if necessary in that business. Okay. Yes. This is a very essential. If somebody wants to establish the business, yes, that means here their decision is very essential. The person decided to establish any business, then only he can start that particular business. Okay. So and some legal formalities are there. Okay. So for example, if he wants to establish the partnership firm, okay, so there may be two or more persons carries the business, yes, by through the applying to the partnership act, that is the partnership act 1932. Yes. Yes. Then if he wants to establish the companies, okay, then he have to take the permission or the grants from the Companies Act 1956, that is old one, but presently there is a companies new act is there, that is 2013. Okay. Yes. ETC some legal requirements are there, but in profession, that is membership of professional body and certificate of practice. Yes. Here decision and some legal formalities are required in where? In the business. And if we see that about the profession, the person or anybody who can be the member or who can have the membership of any prescribed body. Okay. For example, take as a professional as a CA. Yes. He have the membership with that the ICAI, that is ICAI. That means Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Yes. That same being he have the certificate from that as a CA. Clear? Yes. Then after, if you see that into the employment, here appointment letter and service agreement. Yes. In the employment there is a appointment letter as well as the service agreement. That means the person who becomes awarded or the person who becomes provided an appointment letter to appoint in particular job or particular any organizations. Okay. That means here the appointment letter is provided to anybody or any service agreement made with anybody to appoint that person in that particular job. Clear? Yes. This is about the modes of establishment. Then second, nature of work. Yes. Then is that business, professions and employment same? No. Okay. So that why? Because the nature of work is having lot of the difference. Okay. For example, if you see that into the business, provision of goods and services to the public. Yes, provision of goods and services to the public. That means the business serves or business provides the goods as well as the services to the public. Okay, what? The business provides the goods as well as the services to the public. Clear? Yes. But if you see about that profession, yes, it works only into the intangible. That means here there is not any tangible like goods. That means which provides the only expertized services. Clear? So that means here rendering professionalized or expertized service. Okay. So profession provides the rendering nothing but providing. Yes, providing of what? The professionalized. Why? Because there is a professions. Okay, so the professionals like doctors, CA, yes, lawyers, who provides the personalized or professionalized or expertized service to the public. Clear? Yes. Thereafter, if you see about that, the employment performing work as per service contract or rules of services. Yes. So he perform, who the employee perform as per the service contract. Okay. So why? Because of he appointed, he fulfilled that one work. Okay. So then here which work is provided to employee, that work is did by the employee. That means as per the service contract he works. Clear? Okay. Then next third one is the qualification. Yes, this is one very important thing is here. If you see about the business, there is no any minimum qualification is required in here in the business. Okay, even though the illiterate person can also be establish the business or start the business. Clear? So then, but if suppose we seen about that profession or professionals here, there is no any illiterate serve that one concept. Okay, here the professions or professionals have the expertise, knowledge or skilled in that particular field, then only they can serve the profession, neither not. Clear? That's why here the qualifications, expertise and training in specific field. Yes, training in specific field as a prescribed by the professional body is a must. As a professional body is must. That means the CA. Take for example CA, chartered accountant, who have to be passed through with the ICAI. That means Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in India. Okay, and there may be, if you taken as a doctors, they become not a directly doctor, they have a well trained by through the educational institutions. Okay, so then lawyers becomes also trained persons. Okay, here the persons become trained into the expertise or any professionalized body or prescribed body. Okay, yes. Then if you see about that employment, the qualification and training as prescribed by the employer. Yes, as prescribed by the what? The employer. That means here employee is required as per the requirement of employer. Yes, don't confuse about the word employee and employer. Clear? Employee is a different and employer is a different. Yes, one question arises. So both words are similar. Then what is that difference? Yes, see, what is that difference here? That means, see, employee means here who did the work, that person is called the employee, and who provides the work, that person known as employer. Yes, this is the difference in between employee and employer. Clear? Yes. Then next here, what we say that the what qualification or what is the prescribed qualification is required by the employer that should be fulfilled in that the employment. Yes, that means yes. For example, if the education institutions wants to appoint a lectures, yes, they required from the teachers, that is for example take as a commerce field, yes, for PUC section they requires the M.Com BA. Okay, who requires? The education institution. Okay, and same persons can be appointed for the that particular field. Okay, so that means the qualification is required according to the employer. Yes. Then next, reward or return. Yes, reward or return, it is very essential thing. We carried out the business, take for example, yes, so for example we carried out the business or profession or we worked as a employee, but for what motive, that is a question arises. Okay, so we can't serve or we can't do the work for out of the love, no. Okay, so we work for to earn the income. Okay, but here earnings modes are different from one to another. Which are they? That means the business is carried out to earn the profit. The business is carried out for what? To earn the profit, and in profession they receive the fees. Yes, they receive the what? Fees or fee. Okay, so there is no any profit or there is no any salary or wages. Okay, they earn the fee. Okay, then next, if you see about that employee in employment, they works for earn the wages or salaries. They works for what? Wages or salaries. Okay, yes. The next, fifth one, capital investment. Yes, if you saying about into the business, the capital is invested according to the size and nature of the business. Okay, that means here the investment capital is required in the business as per the size of the organization or nature of the organization. Yes, and if you see about that into the profession, there is limited capital required to investment. Okay, or sometimes there is no capital required to investment. Okay, if you say about that commonly, there is a limited or less amount of capital is required in profession. Okay, in business as per the nature and size the investment is required, but in the profession limited or less capital required, but where in the employment there is no any capital required to invest. Okay, why? Because he is appointed by the employer to do the such a work. Okay, that's why he need not to invest in that particular sector or in that particular business. Okay, yes. Please note down this point. Then later words we see the remaining points. Okay, take down. Yes, over. Then take sixth point, that is risk. Yes. Then if you see that into the business, there is lot of the risk. Why? Because of the uncertainty into the return. Okay, that means here the profit is not a certain, it is uncertain. That means the profits are uncertain and irregular and risk is present. Yes, risk is present. That means there is a risk. Okay. So that why? Because that means the profit is not certain. Okay. Per year we this much profit, or there is no any conditions, or there is no any certain things. Okay. So it may be loss, or it may be average, or it becomes a more profit. Okay. So that's why there is a no any certainty in earnings. Okay. That's why there is a more risk. If you see that into the profession, okay, so there is some risk, or directly saying about that there is no risk or only little risk. Okay, for example, see, fee is generally regular. Okay, so why? Because the professionals took a fee by providing the expertise services. Okay, and that fees are regular manner, and that's why there is no risk like the business. There is no any risk like the business. The fee becomes a regular in nature. Okay, that's why there is some risk is there. There is no that much risk like the business. Okay, yes. If you say about that employment, yes, in the business the risk is present. In the profession some risk is there, but in the employment there is no any risk. Okay, there is no any risk. That means fixed and regular pay is there. Fixed and regular pay is there. That means employer provides the fixed rate of salary or wages to employee. That's why for that employee there is no any risk like that. Okay, so that is called here no risk or little risk. No risk or little risk. Okay, so then if you see that in the seventh, transfer of interest. Yes, this is also one essential thing is that transfer of interest here into the business. Transfer possible with some formalities. Transfer is possible with some formalities. That means here transfer of interest. That means here somebody transferring their interest, or interest here that means their business. Okay, so interest means here not a return on income. Okay, here the word interest is supplementary to the that transferring of business. Okay, so here the business transferred to another person with some formalities. Okay, some formalities. If we is saying about that profession, yes, there is no any transferring that facilities allowed. Okay, that means that is not possible. Why? Because the degrees, certificates are not transferred to one person to another person. Okay, so for example, if you taken as any example, for example, A have the one person who have the CA certificate, chartered accountant certificate. Can he provide his certificate to B? No. Okay. So here that means degrees or certificates of somebody cannot be transferred to another person. Okay. So here not possible, and same like that employment. Yes, so employment also not possible to transfer one person to another person. Okay, so if by suppose one person appointed as a PC, as a police constable, and his job is not transferred to another person or he is a friend to do that job. Okay, so there is no allowed to that transferring of that job. Okay, so that is called what? The not possible. Yes, clear? Okay, then see it, code of conduct. Yes, code of conduct, that means it is a minimum or required norms, rules or regulations. Okay, that rules, if you see that into the business, no code of conduct is prescribed. Okay, no code of conduct is prescribed. That means there is no any norms, rules or regulations are prescribed. That means there is no any compulsory to follow that. Okay, so then that's why we call it, that is no code of conduct is prescribed. But wherever we see that into the professionals or into the professional code of conduct is to be followed. Okay, the professional code of conduct is followed. That means norms, rules or regulations are followed here. For example, as a take as a for example, say chartered accountants who have to follow the norms and rules of ICAI. Okay, ICAI, that means Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Okay, in India. Okay, yes. Then if you say about that employment, yeah, for that employee, norms and behavior laid by the employer. Employer means who provides the job, not a person who works that job. Okay, the person who works or who did the work, that person becomes called what? Employee. And the person who provides the job, that person becomes known as the employer. Okay, that means here the which rules or which norms or which behavior laid by that employer are to be followed. Okay, that means the employee have to have follow the rules and regulations which are assigned by the employer. Okay, so employee follow the rules and regulations which are required or assigned by the employer. Okay, clear? Yes. Then lastly, examples. Yes. So we clearly known about that the what is the difference in between business, profession as well as the employment. Yes. Then what are the examples for that? That means, see, for example, for that business, shop, factory, etc. Okay, so lot of there. Okay, so retailer is there. Okay, so warehouses are there. etc. are covered under the businesses. That is shop, factory, etc. If you see about in that profession, see legal, medical professions or professionals or chartered accountancy or accountants, etc. Okay, so in the profession, legal, medical professions or any chartered accountants, etc. are covered under the profession. Okay, and if you see in that employment, okay, so any job holders in a banks or any job in insurance companies or government departments, etc. Okay, the person who have the job in banks, insurance or any government departments, it is called what? The employment. Okay, that means here etc. are called the example for that employment. Okay, yes. Clear? Then if you have any doubts regarding this, okay, you can comment on this and being I will solve that. Okay.